Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nafisa Amin. I'm lecturer of English Department of Islamia College. I dedicate this lecture to the newly admitted students of the higher secondary level of Islamia College. First of all, I congratulate you all. And before going to the text, actually, I would like to describe the distribution of marks and some items you have to practice based on the passages of your text. um, you will be given a passage taken from the text, and following the passage you have to answer multiple choice questions and some comprehension questions. There will be 15 marks, and then you will be given another passage from the text, and following that text you have to solve information transfer or flowchart. What is information transfer? uh, as it is said that you'll be given a passage from the text, and following that text you have to supply information to a box question given in the question. The information will be like who took the action, who completed the action, then where did the action take place, when it occurred. The information will be like that. And what is flowchart? As it is said, a passage will be given, and there will be six boxes, and the first box in the first box, an information will be given based on the passage. Then you have to fill up the other boxes based on the information given in the first box, and obviously it will be followed by the passage given from the text. Then you have to do a summary should be in 10 sentences, and it will be taken from the text. The passage which you have to summarize will be taken from the text. Then there will be cloze test with clues. It is like filling the blanks. Then cloze test without clues, filling the blanks. It will be unseen, it will not be taken from the text. And to do it very well, to do it brilliantly, you should have a very good command over grammatical rules. Then there will be rearranging. For rearranging, you can collect a book, you can practice it more and more. Then from the writing part, there will be given a paragraph. Actually, there will be given a topics, and following that topics there will be some questions, and you have to write a paragraph answering those questions. Then a hint will be given, a hint of a story will be given, or a lead of a story will be given. Then you have to complete the story. This is called completing a story. Then there will be informal letter or a formal letter, or you have to write an email. Then you will be given maps, graphs, or charts. Then you have to analyze it. You have to practice it more and more in the classes. Teacher will also instruct you. Then you have to appreciate poems. Actually, in your text there will be numerous number of poems, numerous references to the poems, and obviously teachers will describe you all the details of the poems, all the figures of speeches, and the rules and regulations of the poem. So to that purpose you have to attend the classes, and sometimes the poems will be out of the book also. So if you attend the class, if you follow your teacher's lecture, then there will be no problem, inshallah. Then I go to the text now. Actually, there is a change. In the old edition, Unit 1, Lesson 1 is about Nelson Mandela, but I have just come to know that there has been a change in the new edition, and so I'm now describing Unit 1, Lesson 2. Unit 1, Lesson 2, it is about Nelson Mandela. I have just come to know that, actually, sorry. Nelson Mandela. Who was Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela, he was a well-renowned leader. His life span is from 18 July 1918 to 5th December 2013. Nelson Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary political leader and philanthropist who served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. Now, what does it mean by apartheid? What does it mean by apartheid? Apartheid means racism, apartheid means discrimination. Actually, during his time, during Nelson Mandela's time, uh, there was the differences, there was the discrimination between the white people and the black people. White people were dominating the black people. The black people were deprived of their rights. The black people are not enjoying the social rights, the political rights. They were subordinate to the white people. And Nelson Mandela himself was a Negro. He himself was black, and he didn't appreciate it. And he raised his voice. To demolish it. He raised his voice to delete this racism, to delete this discrimination. And to that purpose, he had to suffer a lot. He had to be imprisoned for 30 years of his life, but he got success. But his sacrifices resulted in success. In South Africa, there are no more racism. There are no more differences between the white people and the black people. Nelson Mandela believed that there should be no discrimination in the society. He believed in the fulfillment of democracy. Nelson Mandela himself became a president. In spite of being a Negro, he himself became a president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was called a philanthropist. What does it mean by philanthropist? Actually, philanthropist is such a person who dedicate his time and money to charitable purposes, and Nelson Mandela used to do it. That is why he is called philanthropist. Now I am going to text. Actually, this unit 1 lesson 2, it's a report. And this report is published by Reuters. Reuters is actually a news publishing agency, and they published it in 15 December 2013. It was published from Johannesburg. So I start it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nelson Mandela guided South Africa from the shackles of apartheid to a multiracial democracy. So, Nelson Mandela established multiracial democracy. What does it mean by multiracial democracy? It means that there is such a place where different groups of people live where different groups of people live, but they enjoy the rights, social rights, political rights equally. There is no discrimination. There is no differences between these groups. All the people have the right to express their views. All the people have the right to speak for themselves, and that is called multiracial democracy. It was established by Nelson Mandela in South Africa, this multiracial democracy. But before this multiracial democracy, the situation was very brutal. There was the shackles of apartheid. That means what? That means people are very much believing in racism. The white people are torturing the black people. The black people are getting ignored in the society. They are not having their rights to be. They are not having their rights. So as Nelson Mandela established this multiracial democracy, he became an icon of peace and reconciliation. What is it mean by reconciliation? Reconciliation mean reunion. Reunion. He reunited the black people. He reunited the black people and the white people, and it brought about a kind of peace in his country. So his icon. He became a symbol. Icon means symbol. He became a symbol of peace and reconciliation. Who? Relative clause. Whenever you read a passage, you have to find out the grammatical aspects of that passage. King who came to embody the struggle for justice around the world. That means Nelson Mandela, embody means include. Nelson Mandela loved to have struggle because he used to see struggle as in a very positive way, because being involved with the struggle, he wanted to establish justice in the society. So being involved with the struggle was a very positive aspect to Nelson Mandela. Okay, imprisoned for nearly 3 decades for his fight against white minority rule, Mandela never lost his resolve to fight for his people's emancipation. Okay, then imprisoned, that means he was imprisoned, he was jailed, he was caged for nearly 3 decades. 3 decades means a period of 10 years. Decade means a period of 10 years. 3 decades means 30 years. He was jailed, imprisoned in jail for 30 years. 30 years. To fight against white minority rule, to fight against the white people's oppression, to establish his black people's equality. He had to be in jail for 30 years. But he didn't give up. He never lost his resolve. He was very much firm in his dream. He was very much firm in his aim to fight for his people's emancipation. Emancipation means freedom. To fight for his people's emancipation. And you have to remember that imprisoned, what is the grammatical aspect of imprison? Imprison is here adverbial participle. It is in the form of adverbial participle. What is participle? A participle is a verb form that function as an adjective by modifying nouns and pronouns. And imprison here is working as an adverbial participle. It is working as an adverb headed by a participle. I'll upload a video where I'll discuss these grammatical aspects of this lesson. Participle, causative verb, I'll discuss it, inshallah. He was determined to bring down apartheid. He was very much firm. He was very much resolved to reduce, to bring down, to reduce apartheid, to reduce the discrimination between these two races while avoiding a civil war. He was an advocate of peacefulness. He was an advocate of peace. So he wanted to avoid any kind of war, any kind of civil war. While you have to another grammatical aspect is there, that after while, if there is any verb, then there will be an ing will be added to that verb. Avoiding ing will be added to that verb. His prestige and charisma helped him win the support of the world. His dignity, prestige, his dignity, charisma, his charm helped him win the support of the world. He was supported by the other leaders. He was supported by the other part of the world, as he had so much dignity, so much charms. And help is here working as a causative verb. I will upload a new video where I'll discuss the grammatical aspects of this lesson. Okay, then so he had to suffer a lot. He had to be jailed. He had to be in prison for 30 years, and it all resulted in success. He got success. He became successful to establish the equality of the black people. He became successful to establish the equality in the society. There is no more difference between the white people and the black people. And he became president of South Africa. uh, in his speech on becoming South Africa's first black president in 1994, he expressed his emotions, he expressed his inner views. He says, "I hate race discrimination most intensely and in all its manifestations." What does it mean? It means that he didn't believe any kind of discrimination. He is a black president now. That time he was a black president then, but he didn't want that any white people any white people would be tortured by any black people, by the black people. He didn't want that the white people would be tortured by the black people, because he used to believe in the equality. He used to believe in establishing the equality. He also said the time for the healing of the wounds has come. That means what? That means there are so much wounds in his heart. There are the differences between these two races, and all this created wounds in his heart, and he wanted to he wanted to heal these wounds, and he want to bridge the chasm that divide us as has come. That means what? That means us means here the black people and the white people. He wanted to delete, or he wanted to join, to bridge the chasm differences. He wanted to join the differences that divide the black people and the white people, and this is how he wanted to cure his heart. He owned Nobel Prize, and he shared it with F.W. de Klerk. Actually, this man helped Nelson Mandela to be freed from prison 3 years earlier. And he didn't stop here. He was involved with so many social works, and they were ranging from political repression to AIDS. Ranging from means there are varieties of political repression. If there was any kind of political violence, he was there to calm down it. Nelson Mandela was there to calm down it. Then he became involved with the social works. He used to do charity regarding AIDS issue. Then formally he left public life in June 2004 before his 86th birthday. It means that he locked up himself behind the eyes of the common people. He wanted his life to be private, but still he had the celebrity sparkle. Still he is at the epicenter of that time. Still he was in the heart of the people. Still he had the heart of the people. Because why? What are the reasons? Because he sacrificed the most precious 30 years of his life in jail. Mandela's spent behind bars made him the world's most celebrated political prisoner and a leader of mythic stature for millions of black South Africans and other oppressed people far beyond his country's borders. That means he became an icon. He became an example how a leader could lose his 30 years of life for establishing equality for his people, for his country. How for the welfare of his country he sacrificed the most 30 years of his life. That is why he became a celebrated political prisoner, and he was beyond the borders. Then charged with capital offences in the 1963 Rivonia trial. His statement from the dock was his political testimony. Actually, Rivonia trial. Rivonia is the name of a place. He, along with other political leaders, he was arrested in 1963 from the place called Rivonia, and he was charged with capital offences. It means that he could have the death penalty. Even when he was taken to the court, he very boldly expressed his political views. Political testimony means expressed his political views. he expressed that during my lifetime I have dedicated myself to this struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination and have fought against black domination. That means what, he is for his own country. He was not particularly for any race. He was for his own country, and he couldn't bear with the black domination, or he couldn't bear with the white domination. He was just for the peace of his own country. And it was his political testimony, it was his political views. And he also expressed that to establish this democracy, to establish this peace in his country, he even could sacrifice his life. It is an ideal I hope to live and to achieve, but if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Friends adored Mandela and fondly called him Madiba. Madiba. That means he was very much adored in his friend circle, and Madiba was he was called very fondly. He was called Madiba, the clan name. That means it's a tribal name. It is his tribal name by which he was known. Madiba means father. Madiba means father. It is his tribal name. He was very much appreciated for his humanity, kindness, and dignity. My dear students, I end here today. My advice is to you that you collect your book as soon as possible. You just go through the passage, and you definitely you have dictionary at your home. You do some concentrate on the words of the passage. You find out the synonym and antonym of the words. This is how you can proceed on. Okay, stay home, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum. Bye. I end here today.